Hello Internet, Magic Man here, once again from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for Guardians of Ember, the free-to-slay action MMORPG brought to you by the development team at Runewaker, most notably probably famous for Runes of Magic, free-to-play MMORPG, and published by Gameforge. Now, if this looks a little bit familiar to some of you, well, that makes a lot of sense. Going back into 2017 and 2018, this was originally a buy-to-play game published by Insel Games, but they quickly got their ass booted off of Steam very quickly for manipulating reviews for this game and some of their other products. But we're going to spend about 15-20 minutes inside the game checking it out, giving you the lowdown, seeing if this is a free-to-play game now with Gameforge that you want to jump into. Now, being in the United States, I don't have a ton of personal interaction with Gameforge, besides what I cover for MMOBomb and all of their other games, but as a publisher and a player, I don't have a ton of interaction with them, so I'll leave it in the comments to my EU brothers and sisters to let you know how they feel about Gameforge. But I'm going to warn you, it's generally not a positive thing in most people's eyes, but we'll see. So let's take a look at character creation first. Notice I do have an engineer level 6. Well, that's the character we'll be playing with. But before we jump in there, let's take a look at creating a brand new character. You've got 4 races to choose from: humans, elves, dwarves, and the Nia. It's gonna be one of those. All right. Now notice you do have a gender option. It is limited though. Humans and elves can be both male and female, so when you click next you'll get the ability to choose. However, dwarves, notice when I click next, that jumps straight to class. They are locked as male, and predictably the Nia are locked as female. Going into creation, let's start with an elf here. Male, female, doesn't matter. We'll take male. And we'll jump to next. You have 6 classes to choose from. You've got the Knight, the Priest, the Arcanist, the Dark Knight, the Ranger, and the Engineer. And while on the right, it does give you a bit of a synopsis as far as what those classes do and their overall difficulty to play, I'm sure you can pretty much guess. Knights are tanky and spanky. Priests are your healers. Arcanists, looking very Black Mage looking. Ranged magic spell users. Dark Knights are DPS, melee DPS, with some dark magics thrown in. Ranger is your typical hunter ranger type class. And Engineer, also ranged class, but more using guns, traps, that sort of thing. That's what we'll be playing with when we get to actual gameplay. Now, you're not just locked into one class, however. Let's make a note of that now. Once you hit level 15, you are able to unlock a secondary class, so you can start picking and mixing some of those abilities between 2 classes. If you've played Runes of Magic, you're probably familiar with that type of concept. Now, looking at the customization options here, you're probably thinking, well, Mike, that's pretty limited, and you're right in some aspects, but not in others. There's actually quite a bit of customization hidden here, and I'll show it to you. So skin color, yeah, a couple options. Primary hair color, you can make it ridiculous or realistic, whatever you like. Same thing with eye color. We can make those pretty spooky, or just give them some, green eyes. Same thing with lip color. So yeah, okay, tons of options there. Great, perfect. And looking over here at the face, you might see, oh man, there's only 4 face templates that I can choose from. That sucks. Put a pin in that. Let's come back. Hair is limited. There are 8 hairstyles to choose from here, and that's it. Now, whether or not gameplay will unlock more hairstyles, because there is a costume aspect to Guardians of Ember here, we'll see. I don't know. Off the bat, you only get the 8. The last 2 panes, though, Adjust Body and Adjust Head, do give you quite a bit of sliders to mess with, and these sliders actually do things, no matter how ridiculous they may seem, like palm size. Take a look. There's my hand. Let's turn the palm size up. Boom! Lobster claw. Son of a... yeah. He ain't dropping that gun for anything. So you can take some time here to customize your character as much as you want, or we can give him a tiny head, a huge body, and a huge torso length, and start creating a monstrosity all our own. The same thing with the face. You do have quite a few options there. So if you want to spend some time, you can do so. Let's jump into gameplay now. and take a look. Action RPG, so we want to think of this in the vein of like a kind of a World of Warcraft mixed with a Diablo, right? We've got our isometric view, we've got our very Diablo-style interface here, energy on the left, or I'm sorry, health on the left, energy on the right. Our hotbar has a left mouse and a right mouse ability. We start putting abilities in 1 through 5, and we get some potions and things. WASD is the primary movement, however, you can also click if you're more comfortable with that. Now, there's generally open world content, like you see us here. We'll take out a few goblins while we're talking. Just throw some grenades, do some shooting. I can hold left mouse button on my target. I can also hold down shift to lock myself in place and fire in any direction that I want. So if you've played Torchlight, Diablo, any of those style games, Path of Exile, you're going to be very familiar with some of these controls running right off the bat. Being the engineer, I don't have all of my abilities unlocked. I'm only level 6, I think. Yep, level 6. So I've got a couple of abilities here, still some ways to go. But I've got kind of a power shot, sunburst on left mouse, an AoE conal frontal strike with the right mouse button, a grenade that I can chuck with 1, and then 2 sets a little bit of a booby trap so that I can go ahead and kite things into it to blow them up to smithereens. Perfect. Taking a look further at some of the menus, again, we keep going with customization, and there is a lot of customization here. So first off, every time you level, you're going to get some points to spend in one of 4 trees here. Mousing over them shows you what they're doing, and while I may not have the most ideal spec at the moment, I'm only level 6, for the purposes of a first look, I figured I couldn't go wrong with stacking things into Bravery to increase my fire damage, since most of my abilities were based on fire, and stacking some focus to increase my attack speeds. But feel free to pick and mix as you see fit. Plenty of tabs to go here, and this is where we can see that we do get profession skills, crafting, things like that. They don't open until level 15 when we're also able to pick a secondary class, so we've got a while to go for that. Probably won't get to it in this first look, nor will we get to PvP, but there is PvP. I believe 3v3 and 5v5 is what's advertised on the site. A pretty sparse site as far as information goes right now, since the game is still in what they consider a testing phase. Special outfits, we've got costumes, don't have much going on there. Titles that can do various things. Currencies, lots of them, lots of them. Now I'm getting attacked, so let's get out of there for a minute and talk about currencies. I can't tell you much about how this is going to be monetized. It is Gameforge, people have opinions based on that, but in the testing phase and even on their site, there just isn't much information about the way they plan to monetize this. But I showed you the currency tab before I started getting my face beat in by some goblins. And we'll go back to that in just a second. Here, let's set a trap and just have them walk over it. Boom! Oh my god, that didn't do a damn thing. It missed. Unreal. There are a ton of currencies to spend. Now, these diamonds, this is the currency to purchase items with the premium shop. It can be purchased with credit. However, I haven't found a way to actually purchase it yet. Things like my inventory, I can open up new slots for 100 of these diamonds, but I don't have a way to buy diamonds yet. So, yeah. There we go. Stay tuned. Now, some of these currencies you get from daily login rewards and things like that, like these iron keys and these gold keys, those are used to open chests in dungeons, not in the open world where we're at right now, but in the actual dungeon content. So, yeah, you're going to want to gather those, too. Crests of the Flames, not really sure what these do. Equipment greater than level 1. Oh, okay, so these are my enchantment. That's how it works. Okay, good. Perfect. I was going to mention that gear can further be enhanced. So you've got stat points going on. You've got skill points going on. As you level up, you can learn new skills by stacking some points. I don't have any because I've used them all. And you get to kind of pick. Do you want damage or healing to go up? Do you want attack speed or hit chance to go up? And as you work your way through these trees, you will unlock new skills. Notice, though, that since I have Sunburst equipped, if I decide to equip Flowing Star or Remote Repair, in that tree, I will lose Sunburst. It will replace with the other skill. So there is a lot of customization on what even your own skill tree is going to look like and what your hotbar is going to look like, only being able to equip 5 skills at a time here. And I haven't even unlocked the secondary class to start leveling up the skills there. So again, a ton of customization if you want it, not only in how your character looks, but in how your character plays. Now, we've been showing you some of the basic controls out here in the open world. I've got my quest tracker in the upper right-hand corner. That's all well and good. We know what that's doing. I don't have to go over that with you. But we're going to be doing this level 5 quest, Cave Shortcut, because this one leads to the first dungeon. Now, the PvE dungeons in this game come in varying difficulties. Of course, the rewards scale according to those difficulties. So we're going to go ahead and enter the dungeon. Whoop, that's my achievements pane. We're going to go ahead and enter the level 1 version of this dungeon. This is the first time I've ever even been in here, so we'll have to see how it goes. All right, Defensive Ember, that's good. Yay, great. All right, looking around, looking around. Oh, okay, now we've got some goblins to take out. Shouldn't be too bad. Kite them a little bit so that I don't sit there and get beat on. Wow, he's kind of strong for a level 6. All right. Now, graphically, since we're playing, let's talk about the graphics. I feel like this is going to be a hit and miss area for some people. Personally, I enjoy ARPGs. I love the dungeon delves, the constant getting loot, the disassembling my own gear and enchanting gear and get that next better piece. I like Path of Exile. I like Diablo. I like Torchlight. But graphically, I do like that the game is more on the realistic and gritty side, kind of more along the lines of a Path of Exile realism than a Diablo kind of cartoony / realism. And then certainly this is a far cry from something like Torchlight, where you have more of a cell shaded type atmosphere. Get those to run over those traps. Nice. So I do prefer the more realistic style. Now, it isn't top-tier, impressive, blow-your-mind graphics, but it doesn't hurt the eyes, and so I'm okay with it. The one thing I don't like, and I see a lot of games do... Oh, shit, I wasn't even paying attention to health. We're going to have to kite these and let that potion do its job. That I don't like is it's got that kind of washed-out feel, and there's quite a few games doing that lately, like almost a fog or a gray or a dulling, a muting, if you will, over the entire graphic interface. And I don't know. I feel like that's going to be hit and miss. I don't really like it, but I'm willing to deal with it. Sound design, I gotta say, I do like a lot of the sound effects. Your abilities have impact, at least with the engineer so far. They feel like they have impact. And overall character noises and monster noises and things like that. Now, I will say, and it's unfortunate that it's not here, but maybe the boss of this little dungeon will give us a good example of it. In the starting quest, the kind of tutorial starting quest, there was a final fight with a troll. And I love the way the troll looked. It was this big-ass monster, great character model. So hopefully we'll see something cool as we go along in this dungeon here as well. Alright, let's pop a potion while we're not being chased. Oh, yeah, isometric. That's one thing that maybe they should have done, you know, when the camera is centered over those obstructions like that. Clear the obstruction a little bit, maybe? I don't know. Look at that. I do love how they absolutely just blow up. Shit just blows the hell up when it dies. Chuck a grenade, keep backing up. Play my range game since I don't have a tank to keep these things busy. And boom. Screw you, Rock. You too. Pretty straightforward dungeon. Obviously, yeah, right. I mean, it's the first dungeon of the game, for crying out loud. Give it a little bit of slack there. Definitely the type of game that I enjoy, and I gotta be honest, I am enjoying Guardians of Ember. Now, I don't know if I would have paid for it back when it was Insel Games, particularly, and I'm not familiar with it since it wasn't free to play. We didn't really cover it. So if you played Guardians of Ember when it was buy to play for like 10 bucks or whatever from Insel, you'll have to let us know. I don't think I would have paid 10 bucks for it and been willing to deal with the cash shop. But maybe that wasn't part of it. Although I seem to, in my mind, they probably wanted the best of both worlds and did both things. Well, we're at the end of this dungeon, so let's clear out the trash because it looks like we got our boss sitting over there. I see him in the upper right, glowing purple. But all in all, I'm really enjoying the game. I really kind of hope that Gameforge doesn't screw this up monetization-wise. Ha! Achievement earned, potion addicted. All right, let's take a look at some of our achievements because you do get rewards for those. So we already got that one. Use 30 or more. Hey, look, 10 of whatever currency that is. Nice. Miscellaneous, we've got another one. Oh, so 500 monsters. Awesome. So we get the experience and gold for that, and then the next locked... Hey, sweet, I leveled. The next tier will unlock when we get to 1,000 there. So, plenty o' perks. Now, what do we got going on up here? We got a cave dweller. Okay, so these are our 2 targets that the quest in the upper right wants us to beat. We'll give a little AoE flame here. Oh, I already used traps, so we'll just chuck some grenades. Kite you sums of bitches. Woo, wow. Oh, little lag there, a little rubber banding with the cave dweller, who all of a sudden just jumped back. That is one thing I will say. While I personally haven't had huge performance issues, there is only... Yeah, I will select the chest I want to unlock when I'm not getting my face beat in. Thank you. We'll go with this one. Hey, a 2-handed sword. Yay. What else was there? Light armor and heavy armor hands. Oh, damn, that would have been nice. All right, but we got some hidden chamber boots. So on performance, Yay, gold. The server is EU. Even if you select NA in the game's launcher, you end up with on an EU server, so there are performance issues from time to time. Now, it hasn't been terrible. Hey, cutscene. No voice acting, though. It hasn't been terrible, and on my rig, I'm still anywhere from, depending on what's loading, anywhere from 60 to 120 FPS. So, but you see there's a little bit of rubber banding that goes on, particularly there with that cave dweller we were just fighting. All right, now, why did 2 of these pop into my hotbar? That's not what we want. Since we've leveled, let's take a look at our skills. We've got 1 point to use. Now, I don't think it cost me anything to reset. Oh, it's for free until I reach level 15, so great. Let's go ahead and spend this. I'm still using Sunburst quite a bit. But I think I need to level up my grenades a little more, and we're going to give them the damage bonus. So we'll take that, then we'll jump over to my character pane. I've got 3 points to use, and I still want my attacks to be faster, so we'll up our attack speed as well. Take a look in our... let's disassemble some equipment. Some of this garbage stuff that I'm not going to use. Those actually might not be too shabby. I'll have to look at what I have on. And we'll disassemble all those. Yep. And so we get all kinds of materials that we can then use in crafting and enchanting. So it is all here. If you are a fan of ARPGs, it's all here. PvP. Housing. That's a thing. You can get a house and go chill when you're all done. So there is plenty to do. We will definitely take that. As far as you collectors, there's a compendium type thing. Let me see if I can find it. This is my quest log, skills, the world map, crafting, friends, achievements, guild. There it is, compendium. Perfect. So every time you kill a certain monster, it has a chance of dropping it looks like a little card, basically. And so you can pick up that card, go to your inventory and use it, and add them to your compendium and kind of collect those as well. So obviously I'm just kind of starting. That's our monster, our book of treasures. So tons and tons and tons. So here's the fishing one. Yeah, there's the koi carp I had to catch for a fishing quest. That one you get pretty early as you're walking around there. But, I mean, if you're looking for an ARPG that isn't Diablo, that isn't Path of Exile, hey, who knows? You might find a home here with Guardians of Ember as long as Gameforge doesn't screw up the monetization. Cast a healing orb. Hey, all right, well, yeah, go ahead. Heal the shit out of me. Nice. So, if you want to try something new, Guardians of Ember might be for you. It's in testing right now, so we'll still keep our eye out on the cash shop. But, hope you've enjoyed this first look, giving you the rundown of everything in the game. Ooh. Hey, we got an elite here. Random elite. While I'm killing, or at least trying to kill this elite, I will also mention that there are public events. So if you've played, you know, Guild Wars or Final Fantasy XIV and Fates and stuff like that, there are public events that you can just stumble across and complete an objective and get extra experience and rewards that way too. So there's a lot going on here, and I feel like I kind of dig it. I'm gonna play it some more. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on the monetization, so we'll just have to wait on that one. But until next time, gang, this is Magic Man from MMOBomb.com saying I hope you enjoyed this first look. And until next time, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.